Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and welcome to our top 10 LEGO sets of the year 2021. Obviously, tomorrow is Black Friday, so lots of people are going to be doing their LEGO shopping. And we thought we did a video like this last year, and we thought it'd be a good idea to make a video for you guys just talking about what our favorite sets were of this year and what ones we'd recommend you guys pick up.
Some things to note here, this is sets released this year only.
Yeah, so there's good sets that we got this year, but they didn't come out this year, so to keep it simple, we're just going to keep it to sets that came out this year.
Yes. This is also not including direct-to-consumer sets because, in general, those are kind of given really good. Things like Ninjago City won't be on the list because it is direct-to-consumer, and, obviously it's a great set. Everyone knows it's a great set. This is going to be more looking at the smaller scale sets that might be a little more accessible for people. Yeah, I think that's the two big things about this list.
So we're going to have 10 sets. We each picked 5, but we're going to be alternating. They are kind of ordered somewhat. We have our own lists ordered, but we pretty much agree on pretty much all of these, I think. There's at least some of your honorable mentions that may not be my favorite sets of the year, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
And I think you mentioned this already, but just to reiterate, at least one of us owns all of these sets.
Yes, these are only sets we have. So there may be some amazing sets that neither of us have, so those are not being in this list, but these are just our recommendations from what we have purchased this year. However, between the two of us, I feel like we have most of the major sets.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I think we might both own all of these with one or two exceptions.
Yeah. I know the top 10 at least. I own all of them, even your picks.
I think I might own all of them as well.
I will be linking a playlist in the description for my reviews of all these sets. I think there's only one set in this list that I have not made a proper review for, but the rest of them I will put all my reviews in the description. So if you want to see my further thoughts about any of these, go check that playlist out. But anyway, let's get into it.
My my number 10 pick is the 2020 XWing. Now, this was controversial when it launched because it was $40 cheaper and significantly less detailed than the previous X-Wing, but after owning this along with the past 5 X-Wings, this might be my favorite just because of how accessible it is. And I mean, in terms of scale, it is the most in minifigure scale X-Wing we've ever gotten, which is awesome. The new function is really simple. It doesn't require any rubber bands, which was my biggest issue with every previous X-Wing. They'd wear out really quickly and the wings would get droopy. This does not happen on this X-Wing. It does look good still for being $50, but it doesn't even lose too much of its detail that it had previously. So I just think this is a really cool set. And I also just want to mention the other 3 scaled down versions of sets we've gotten as well, because I have all of them now. The Slave One, the TIE Fighter, and the Imperial Shuttle, and all 3 of those are great as well, and I love how they're kind of going for a cheaper line of these sets that were getting really expensive. The previous TIE Fighter and X-Wing were $80 and $90 respectively, which is not accessible for something that should be kind of just a massable starship.
I have the set as well, and this is the first X-Wing I bought since I was a kid. I had one when I was a kid, but since then they just felt too expensive to me, and I like Star Wars a lot, I like the X-Wings a lot, but I just didn't really motivate me to get them. But then this one was so cheap, and I was finally okay, yeah, let me get this one, and I was very, very satisfied with it. Yeah, this one, it's a really good one, and also you didn't mention the figures are also pretty great on this one.
Honestly, those completely slipped by. Was previously exclusive to the $200 Tanta 4, which has since been discontinued, and General Dodonna is exclusive to this set. So, both.
Yeah, and then obviously Luke and R2 are always nice to get.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very good set. I highly recommend this one if you're looking for a cheaper X-Wing. And the TIE Fighter's great as well. I know both of these are pretty frequently 20% off Amazon, Target, Walmart. So for $40, essentially, this is a really, really good set to pick up.
Alright, so our number 9 pick, this was one of my picks, was this set right here, Everyone is Awesome. This kind of came out of left field. I don't think this was a set anybody was expecting to happen at all this year, but it's pretty spectacular. Obviously, the cultural meaning behind it's amazing. The fact that we have a Pride LEGO set is really cool, but even that aside, just the set itself is beautiful. Far from the most complex build we've ever gotten. In fact, one of the simplest builds, I think, in recent years, but it just looks really fantastic. It looks great on shelf. All the minifigures are amazing. Monochrome minifigures are really cool, and we've never really gotten them officially like this before. There's colors that we've definitely never gotten before, like this light blue, this the bright green, I think this green's called. Like, I don't think those definitely were not possible before this set existed, and you get so many of them here for only $35. Just all around, like, I don't have a ton to say about it because it is very simply designed, but it's very, very well done.
I also
And
think they did a really good job on inclusivity here.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
There was effort put into here and thought put into the set, and I think what the set means is really awesome.
Yeah. So both the meaning behind it and the set itself are both fantastic.
Yep.
So it's one of my top sets of this year.
Definitely.
This is the one set that I mentioned I don't have a review of just because I didn't know how to review it because I feel like there's not much else to show in a review that you don't already see from the pictures. So this is my review right here, is that it's fantastic. What you see is what you get, but it looks incredible on a shelf, and the figures are awesome, and I highly recommend this one.
Absolutely.
This one is LEGO Store exclusive, I believe, so if you guys are interested in getting this one, you can only get it from LEGO.com or in store at LEGO stores.
It is LEGO stores only, and also I think it might be being discontinued soon.
I thought I think they said they were planning to keep it around for a while.
Oh, okay.
So I think you'll have some time to get this one, but yeah. If this is one you're interested in, I highly recommend it.
Alright, so for number 8, this is my only Ninjago set on this list. However, I think there will be more Ninjago.
Yeah, there'll be...
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be a few more from me.
Yeah. But this is by far my favorite Ninjago set I've gotten this year. I also don't have all the Ninjago sets, but this set is stunning. It's the first giant mech to have knees, which is awesome to me because it adds so many new posability options. But just past that, I love the color scheme on this. The design is awesome. It takes a really good mech from, I think, 2015 and makes it 10 times better. Like, it blows the out of the water.
Like, I remember loving the original when it came out, but this is just above and beyond.
Yeah. Something else I'd like to note, it includes my favorite ninja suit we've maybe ever gotten, and that is the Deepstone Legacy 3 Zane, and that figure is incredible, and I really wish we would get more of the ninja in that style.
Hopefully next year that happens, but...
I agree. I'm not hopeful, though.
But yeah, regardless, the set itself is spectacular. It's far from my favorite set this year. I do have my problems with this set, but as a whole, it is really, really good, especially if you find it on sale.
Yeah.
The figures are great. The mech itself has a lot of really great stuff. My only issues with it are a few aesthetic things on the mech that I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't love the sand blue. I don't love the finger design, but those are very minor overall. As a whole, this is like one of the best mechs we've ever gotten.
Yeah, no, it's really a good set, and I highly recommend this one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Alright, so number 7 on this list, we have the Jungle Abomination. This is the only LEGO Minecraft set I think I put on the list this year. Usually LEGO Minecraft is one of my favorite themes, and they had some really good sets this year, but I think this was the only one that made it into the top 10 for me. But this set is just spectacular. If you guys watched last year's Top of 2020 video, I think I had last year's Minecraft Dungeon set on the list. And this one is better than that in some ways, and worse than it in other ways, but as a whole, it's still very, very good. This creature design's fantastic. It looks like it fits in the world of Minecraft, but it has so much posability. And then the minifigures are spectacular too. You get 2 new player characters, an exclusive creeper, an exclusive skeleton, and this iron golem is always cool to get. Just all around, there's so much included here. You get the weapon set from last year too, included in this one as well, which it's cool to get that again. Just like very few flaws with this set. I think last year's creature looked a little bit better, but this one's still very, very good.
Yeah.
It just fits the same aesthetic, and I love having 2 of them now.
No, I don't have this set yet, but I do have last year's, and that set was incredible, and this one looks incredible. So when I do get this, I'll be able to give my thoughts a little more accurately, but I think it looks incredible. The figures are great. I love how it has the netherite armor, but in a different color to represent.
Right, yes, that's an exclusive part for this set.
Yeah, it's a really good set.
And another thing I forgot to mention is the price. The price on this thing's incredible. It's only $40 for all of this. $50 would have been easily justified for this, and I still would have loved it for that price. Mm-hmm. So if you find this for $40 or even on sale for like $32, like, for sure pick this one up. It's amazing.
Yeah. So number 6 on our list is the Winnie the Pooh Ideas set. This was one of my favorite building experiences I've had this year. It's a stunning build. It looks just like it does in the, I guess, books and all the...
Cartoon?
What?
cartoon, right? That was
I, I
show.
I think they're books. I don't think it's a show.
Well, they've had like a movie, like Disney's made like movies and stuff,
Okay.
and I think
Well,
that's
it
what a
looks
lot
just
of
like
this
it
is
does
based on.
in its media. Um,
Yeah,
and the minifigure selection here is great. I love how they're going in this direction of because they did something similar with the Looney Tunes CMF. Those figures are just reminiscent of this
yeah.
set. But it's just such a cozy set. The interior is great. The exterior is great. They include a lot of important details. I think it is missing two important characters from Winnie the Pooh, which is my only complaint with this set. But as far as idea sets go, this is one of my favorite.
So this was the set that made me understand the 18 plus line. I
Yes.
still don't necessarily agree with the 18 plus branding. I think it's a little silly to like have your adults theme be called 18 plus, but it made because like this set is like very much quality over quantity. It's not very big. That was something I immediately noticed when I built it. Is it wasn't very big. It's rather small, but it's so small because they fit in so much detail.
Yeah.
Like there's so many parts that are intricately placed, and it just like it feels complete. There's nothing that like aside from the minifigures, like you said, the entire build feels 100% complete. Nothing is lacking in any part. I'm not even the biggest Winnie the Pooh fan in the world, but I love this one. And I would highly recommend it. It's just such a fun building experience.
It's really well done.
And it does feel like it was made for older collectors, which is what they were aiming for. So
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. So number 5 on the list, we have the Fire Dragon attack. This was actually a contender for my number 1 for me because it is just really, really fantastic. It's unlike any dragon we've ever gotten from LEGO before. It feels very bestial, and like it's weird to use the word realistic because obviously dragons aren't real, but the anatomy feels like more. It feels less like a toy and more like they were trying to make an accurate anatomical dragon, which is like really impressive.
Yeah.
Like how much is included here. The way they do the chest and the wings, and I love how the wings like actually feel like proper wings. I guess on the originals they were just kind of always out and up, but you can actually have this thing crawl along the ground. It's just really fantastic. It's probably might be my favorite. No, I do prefer the builds of my other two, but like this was a very strong contender for number 1. The minifigure selection is definitely lacking. Golden Nia is cool, but the other 3 are nothing at all. But that is completely negated by how amazing this build is, and the price is also really fantastic. So
Yeah,
I love this
I
one.
have this one as well, and this is probably outside of the Titan mech, which I put on my own list. This is my other favorite Ninjago set of the year.
Yeah.
It's the build is incredible. First of all, LEGO really went above and beyond with this one. But for $50, this is one of the best dragons I think they've ever done.
For sure.
And
Yeah, and it's so different too, and that's
Yeah.
what I love about it. Like LEGO dragons have never looked like this ever. It's really spectacular, and it feels so like it works in the context of Ninjago, but it's also just a good dragon as a whole. This does not need to be a Ninjago dragon.
No.
Also a small thing. I love how the saddle is removable, so you can have it like rideable, or you can just have it be a wild dragon.
Yep.
It just feels very fantastic.
This set makes me really want the other 3 dragons in this style. I don't think that.
Yeah, and I hope this is indicative of what LEGO dragons are going to continue to be in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like the way you can pose it, where it has like both claws on the ground and it's like crawling, it just looks so cool.
Agreed.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job here.
For our number 4 pick, I selected the 2021 Hogwarts set, which is the Chamber of Secrets. And before I even go too far into this, I selected this set, but I want to lump in with it the other 3 expansions: the girls' bathroom, the Quidditch practice, and Fluffy Encounter, just because all 4 of them together are genuinely stunning. But this is the central one, so I wanted to be like this to be the one on the list. But this is, I think, the kind of a culmination of everything they've done right with Hogwarts castles throughout every Harry Potter line they've done. It is minifigure scale, but also it's not like too small. It has good interior space. It's fully modular, so you can arrange this with all the other Hogwarts sets they've done in any way you want. It actually has the rocks on the bottom, which they've been missing out on, I think, for the past few times they've done Hogwarts castles, because it's really important that it is on a mountain. And by doing that, they included the Chamber of Secrets below ground, which is such a cool inclusion. And it feels like a really solid rendition of the Chamber of Secrets. It also includes a really well done brick built basilisk and like what 9 or 12 a ton of minifigures.
Yeah, so many minifigures. So this was the set that finally got me to buy well, not buy, I got it from Land, but it was the set that finally got me to go, okay, maybe I want some Harry Potter. Because even though Harry Potter came back, what, 2018
Yep.
is when the theme was revived, I hadn't really gotten anything from it. But this one, like, it looked fantastic to me. I'm like, okay, I really want this thing. And it's just, it feels very fun. It perfectly combines the aesthetic, like, looking pretty, but also being very fun to play with, I think.
Yeah.
Modularity allows for a lot of room for creativity, and I think the idea of modular Hogwarts works really well for the Lego Harry Potter theme, because I feel like that's one of Harry Potter's biggest issues. Is a lot of times they're like, okay, here are minifigures we're gonna put in sets, but we're kind of running out of ideas for builds,
Mhm.
because unlike something like Star Wars, Harry Potter's not a huge, like, it's not a vehicle focused theme, so having like these modular rooms and stuff allows it like still to feel like you're making one big complete build, but like still having different sets on shelves, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. Um,
I
Minifigures here are spectacular. So many exclusives, so many like characters we've never gotten before. Um, just fantastic overall. And the basilisk is really funny.
I also really hope they stick with this system instead of changing it up again.
Yeah, I think they'll change it up eventually, but hopefully at least next year and maybe the year after we'll continue with this
Yeah,
one.
because this is my favorite Hogwarts system. There's so much you can do with it. Like I don't have it
Yeah.
displayed the way they intend for it, and like it still looks really good.
Alright, and then for my number 3 spot, this is the only Monkey Kid set on this list, we have the Bone Demon. This set kind of blew me away. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know I was a bit of a Monkey Kid hater at the start. I didn't really like the first 2 waves at all. I've gotten a few of them since then, and I like some of them, but I still maintain that the first and second waves as a whole were not the best. Land sent me the 3rd wave, and there were some solid ones in there, but I still had a lot of criticisms. But then I got this set, and this just blew me away. Straight off the bat, the coolest thing about it is it has so many glow-in-the-dark pieces. You can see on LEGO.com, they've got like this green effect around them. All these pieces are glow-in-the-dark. They glow a bright green. You can see that in my review if you go check that out. So that part's cool, but even the glow-in-the-dark pieces aside, it just feels like so much fun. All the parts separate, and they're like playable on their own. You can turn it into these little spiders and the scorpion. But then they all combine together and make this one giant mech. The figures in the set are amazing. You have the exclusive Lady Bone Demon. You have this version of May, this version of Monkey Kid, and these 2 Bone Spirits, which are also exclusive. There's just so much here. It's also a really great price, which is surprising for Monkey Kid. 1,400 pieces for 120. Even if you're not a fan of Monkey Kid, this is a set I highly recommend just because the build is so unique. It reminds me a lot of like old Lego Agent stuff, I guess, as a kid, but a lot more obviously updated to modern standards. It's one of my favorite sets. It's one that even if I take apart every other Monkey Kid set, I will keep together just because it looks so cool. Yeah, I love this one.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because I don't have it, but it was when I saw the one Monkey Kid set where I'm like, I really want to get this one.
Yeah.
I think the side mech looks fantastic. The minifigures look great, and the like central mech is incredible, and the way it splits apart is really cool. But I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because I don't have it.
All right, and then now do we want to go on to our honorable mentions before we get into the top 2?
Yes, let's do that. My first honorable mention is one I did not even anticipate getting, but I ended up getting November 1st, the day it released, and that is the new Wayne Terminus Batcave from the upcoming Batman movie. I know nothing about this movie, but I have 3 Batcaves, and this is probably my favorite just because of how much floor space it comes with and how good it looks on a shelf. It looks very regal in a way that previous Batcaves haven't, and it accommodates really well for the newest Batmobile. So I don't know. I think there's just a lot of really good space for minifigures on this one.
It's personally not my favorite from pictures. Obviously, I don't have it in person, but we're in the honorable mention section, so. Another honorable mention is In Arishem Shadow from the Eternals. This set kind of blew me away. I got this recently because I wanted this one minifigure and nothing else. But, and even putting it together, I wasn't that impressed by it, but once I had it finished, I was like, wow, that's actually a spectacular Lego set. I really, really like this one.
Yeah, I completely agree. The minifigure selection is good, and it kind of gives you the most important characters.
It's cool to see like a mech, like I don't know. This feels different than other like Lego mech style things we've gotten.
Agreed, completely
More
agree.
like realistic proportions. It doesn't have like chunky arms and legs, but it also doesn't feel like it's too bare bones. It feels complete, which
Yeah,
I very much like.
it feels very skinny, long, and muscular, to quote my 2015 self. Um, and it uses a lot of interesting colors. It mixes dark red with like a trans purple color, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Because I have it on my windowsill, and the sunlight comes through some of the trans pieces during the day, and it's really cool
Yeah,
looking.
no, it's a really good one. So if you've enjoyed Eternals, I think you should definitely pick this one up because
Yeah.
yeah, it's just pretty good. Another honorable mention is Bro Thor's New Asgard from Marvel. This was just a surprise of a set. It feels like an 18 plus set. Like the level of detail here reminds me a lot of what you get in the Winnie the Pooh set.
Yeah,
It's not a good play set at all, really. I don't think this is a good set for kids, but for older collectors, which it feels like this was made for, this is fantastic.
agreed.
All the minifigures are exclusive. There's so many fun accessories inside, and it just looks really good. It's tiny, but it's just so jam-packed with detail. I don't really think there's anything done wrong here. And it comes with Lego Fortnite, so, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wanted this on the list just because it has Fortnite in it.
Alright, also in the honorable mentions, we have the Adventures with Luigi starter course. This one, I mean, objectively, it's far from a good Lego set, but Lego Luigi himself is wonderful. I love that we have a new character for the Lego Super Mario line. Luigi is so much funnier than Mario himself. And you get some cool figures here. The Pink Yoshi's really great. I like the gameplay element with him, too. Boom Boom's a really good figure. And then the actual, like, course expansion parts are okay. None of them are too amazing to me, but just Luigi himself makes me so happy. It's probably the thing I've purchased this year that I've spent the most time with, because
Yeah.
I touch the Luigi figure more than I touch any of the other sets I buy, just because it's fun to move him around and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with this one. Objectively, no, it's not the best, but I highly recommend it. I love it.
I love the Mario and Luigi, and I don't think it's a very good set overall, but the play feature that they come with is good enough that I think it should be on the honorable mentions
Yeah, and
list.
especially if you can find this for 20% off or more, like if
Yeah,
you have even the slightest interest in the Lego Mario line, I do recommend you pick it up.
yeah.
This was on
Honestly,
August 1st. This was the only set I bought, and I don't regret it. Like,
I recommend Luigi over Mario.
um, I Luigi the figure itself is better, but I think you get more from the Mario starter course.
Mm,
But
that's fair.
anyway, it's honorable mention, so I won't spend too long on it. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the next honorable mention is the Tournament of Elements from Ninjago. This was a very strong contender for my top 5, but it was just edged out by the other sets. But this is just a fantastic set. Tournament is my favorite season of Ninjago, and it comes with 3 new Elemental Masters who we've been wanting since 2015, plus, 4 other amazing minifigures, so
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible how much you get here. It's only $30. The build itself is really good too. I wish it was bigger, but it allows this to be cheap, so I don't mind it. Tons of references to the show, and just overall solid. If you're a fan of Ninjago and you don't have this, I don't know why. Like, genuinely, Golden Lloyd, 3 new Elemental Masters, Legacy 2 Kai and J for really cheap, and you get Izor, which is fine. And, like, even, like, the Golden Spinjitzu, it's a small thing, but that's a really nice inclusion. Like, the Jade Blade pieces, so much.
No, I mean, this set looks really good, and it's playable, and it has fantastic minifigures. There's not much more you can want from it.
It's genuinely amazing. Also in honorable mentions, we have the Avengers Endgame Final Battle. This is the set that comes with the new Big Fig Thanos. And this is another one where I feel like it's very fun. Like, the reason it didn't make my list is because the build is, like, nothing spectacular. It's very goofy. You got a table and a giant cage for Thanos, but I just feel like I could see myself at, like, 8 years old sitting down and playing with this for hours on end. The minifigure selection here is great. You get Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Wanda, Black Panther, Ant-Man, and Thanos. Like, there's so much here. 70 is a pretty good price for how much you get in this set. And, like, a lot of Marvel sets will come with builds that I just don't care about straight up. Like, they're just boring. But I think this is a pretty good location build where you could actually have a lot of fun with it. There's room to pose figures. The Ant-Man van is cool. I think this is very solid overall.
I agree. I don't have this one yet. I do plan to get it eventually, but I just think it looks really fun.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing of this one is I'd say it's fun. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the word I would use.
I agree with what you said. I would have loved this at 8 years old.
Yeah.
It has everything you can need. Like I can imagine asking for this for my birthday,
Yeah.
and like you get everything you could want from it.
Yeah, far from the prettiest set, but it's a very, very good one.
It gets the job done.
Yeah. Alright, and then finally for the honorable mentions, we have Santa's Sleigh, which was almost in the top 5. It was in the top 5 till the very end when I realized I'd rather put the Everyone is Awesome set in the top 5. But this set is just really, really good. It's kind of surprising, like, I don't get this set. Like, it's $37, which is an oddly specific price point, and it's, like, out of stock everywhere right now.
I really think that this one was supposed to be an exclusive.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a gift with purchase, but it wasn't, so I was able to purchase it. And I love it. Getting the reindeer is great. Getting Santa's great, and the sleigh build just feels so festive. It
no, this set is really good.
It perfectly captures what like Santa's sleigh is supposed to look like. Getting the reindeer is incredible. It's just so fun all around. Obviously, this one's a little bit difficult to get at this point, but if you can get it, I do recommend that you do because it's fantastic. And also, I love the way like all the presents are stored in the back. Just
no, it's really well done.
So cool overall. We have number 2, and Matthew's going to present this one, but Matthew, I want you to read the full name of this set from LEGO.com.
We've got LEGO DC Batman TM Batmobile TM Tumbler Scarecrow trademark Showdown. This set is one I've wanted for many years, and wow, did they knock this one out of the water. It has 2 exclusive minifigures and is a really, really detailed minifigure scale tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy, which is my favorite Batmobile. And it's really well detailed. I have literally 0 complaints about this, and it's only $40, which is insane for how good the set is. I have nothing bad to say about this. The detailing is incredible. The build was fun and interesting. It's pretty much in scale with Speed Champions, the modern Speed Champion sets, which I love. So, like, I display this with my other cars, and it's really cool. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about this one. Like, this was one of my most anticipated sets of the year, and it got everything right.
Yeah, so this is... I was not planning on getting this set on, October 1st this came out?
Yep.
But I was at the LEGO store and I saw it on the shelf and I was like, you know what? That does look really good. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm far from the world's biggest Batman fan. I like Batman, but it's like not my thing. But I got it and I was just blown away. It feels so just complete, right? It feels like the level of detail is amazing. There's so many like intricate little like curves and angles that they do to like perfectly capture the shape. I really love how they do like the windshields and everything to make them look like one big windshield when in reality it's 2 smaller ones.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. My only minor criticism of this set is the minifigures could be a little bit better. Mainly, Scarecrow's kind of lame. But
I would have much preferred to have gotten Joker or Two-Face in this set.
Right.
However,
that's so minor. The Batman's amazing. The exclusive Batman head's amazing, and the build's incredible. And it's
I'd actually go as far to say this is the Batman figure in this set is better than the one in their direct-to-consumer set.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
Because I saw them on display at the LEGO store the other day, and I was a little underwhelmed by that. And the Joker minifigure, honestly, I don't think that figure looked great in person.
Also, the price on this one's pretty good. Like, price per part, 40 is about correct, but if they charged 50 for this, I think just as many people would have bought it, so...
It would have been, I think, fine at 50 as well.
Yeah. So, I think this is just very, very good overall.
Agreed.
Yeah, even if you weren't making this list with me, this would probably be in my top 10. Like, I love this one.
Yeah, but this is my favorite set of the year just because of how much I've wanted one of these for so long.
Yeah, and it's accurate to the movie, but it's also just a fantastic LEGO set aside from that.
Exactly.
They've got it all here. Alright, and then my number 1 set of the year, you guys probably already know what this is if you guys have been watching the podcast. I've been memeing about it since it came out in March, just because I love it so much. We've got the Jungle Dragon from Ninjago. I'm shocked at how much I love this set. Like, I don't think I loved it this much when I first got it, but like over time, this is the set I keep going back to. Like, I see it on my shelf, I'm like, wow, that is a good LEGO set. That's a good LEGO set right there. I think objectively the Fire Dragon's probably better, but I love this one a lot more.
I definitely prefer the Fire Dragon, but this one is still very good.
So I think my biggest thing with it is the personality that this thing has. Is the face is done so well. He uses the thing that Scooby-Doo did back in 2015, where
Yeah.
one side of his face has one expression, the other side has another one, so depending on how you have his head facing, he has different expressions. So he's got like angry on one side and happy on the other, and I love the tongue sticking out, like gives him a lot of personality. I think that's where he gets a one-up over the fire dragon, is the fire dragon's head is not the best. Like it looks cool, but like the open hole in the front of the mouth does hold it back a little bit for me, and that's because it's meant to have a stud shooter, but this went for a more realistic head mold, I guess. The teal is a super cool color. I love seeing so much of it used here, and combined with the gold, it looks fantastic. I also feel like, very similarly to the fire dragon, it feels very complete, very organic.
Agreed.
Fire dragon's more bestial, while this is more just like a lizard. Like this is essentially a big lizard, but they capture that shaping perfectly. I also love the thing it does with its body, where it sort of like curves in and then curves back out. That's a really fun technique, and the way the tail swings on it too, just fantastic. Minifigure selection's okay. It's similar to the fire dragon. I don't really care about the minifigures here, but they are actually good. Like, unlike the fire dragon, like you'll be happy getting these minifigures. They're not the reason to get this set, but yeah, this guy's just fantastic overall. I cannot recommend this guy enough. Only $40 for 500 pieces.
This set and wave in general are very good. And I think this set, to me, I don't love it like you do, but I think it works really well in the context of the wave.
Yes.
And I think as far as Ninjago wave goes, even though it was a very small one, it was very good.
Yeah.
And this is kind of just, it highlights that pretty well.
Yep. No, it's really fantastic. So yeah, this is my top set of the year. So if you guys are going to get any set from this list, I'd recommend the Jungle Dragon. That's my boy. Out of stock on LEGO.com right now, but you should be able to find it in stores and maybe on other websites.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our top 10 LEGO sets of 2021, plus some bonus honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of our list. Is there anything you felt like we left off? Is there any you disagree with? What are your top sets, and are you planning on picking any of these up? Anything else to say, Matthew?
That's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, I'll be on the channel more.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning of this video too, I'm gonna have a playlist linked in the description of my reviews of all of these sets, except for Everyone is Awesome. It's the only one on the top 10 that I don't have a review up for. But if you want to see more detail on any of these sets, go check out my reviews. That'll all be linked in the description below.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully more Matthew content now that Winter Break's coming up soon. More live streams and whatnot. If you guys aren't familiar with Matthew, check out our weekly podcast. It's pretty fun. We had some shocking LEGO news this week on yesterday's episode.
Yes, we did.
But that's about going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you, Matthew, for joining me, and I will see you all in the next one.
Thank you, Brix Reviews, for joining me.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.